Who threw the most shutouts in 2021? Folks, thanks for joining us at the Baseball Brewhaha. We've got coffee. We've got trivia. Today's Sunday showdown. And we're tied up, folks. We are tied up. You gotta love it. Gotta love it.
We have a tense one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're throwing heat.
It's like
we're
camping.
hoping not to get shut out by this question,
Mm-hmm.
which is about shutouts. Who threw the most shutouts in 2021? We have Anthony DeSclafani,
New Mariner.
Max Fried, Sean Manaea, Joe Musgrove, and Zack Wheeler. I have no idea. Just throw a name out there. I feel like this wasn't like Joe Musgrove's big breakout year, so I'm gonna go Musgrove.
Musgrove. I think I'm gonna go. I feel like I want guys who pitch deep. Always get Max Fried.
I mean, there aren't many shutouts people are throwing these days.
No, I know. I mean, this is not a large number. Wheeler is doing it. I'm gonna go with DeSclafani. Actually, I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look. Oh boy. Okay. The correct answer is all of them.
What? They'll through one?
Here's what it says. How times have changed. Indeed, they have. They each had 2 shutouts.
Okay.
Tied for the lead. 2017 was the last time anyone had 3 shutouts, which was Kluber and Irvin Santana. And then Felix was the last one to throw more than 3 in a season. In 2012, Felix Hernandez threw 5.
Wow. Yeah, 5 feels so big, but then you go, I mean, in the era's bygone, it's like, that's the amount of shutouts somebody would throw in a week.
Yeah, well, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
Adding runs to the board. Oh, that's a score that's unrealistic. It was like 1,304. 14-14 is our score.
There we go.
We head into the 8th. Let's do it. Let's see what's in store. We got salaries in store is what we have.
Okay. Making the money.
Let's take a look.
Making a money.
Whose salary
got a lot of it.
Topped out at a whopping $75,000. We have Bill Buckner, Roger Maris, Bobby Mercer, and Tony Perez. I feel like Buckner played too late.
Yeah.
He would have been high.
Yeah.
And Maris was a star. Perez was more of a star. So I'm going to go Mercer, who I think, in my mind, was less of a star.
I'm gonna go with Maris, just because I think he was early, but people were still making some money. So I'm gonna go with Maris.
Going Maris. I went Mercer. Let's take a look. The correct answer is Maris.
Oh, boom.
With the Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mercer, let's see, topped out at $320,000 with the Yankees. So how about that? Buckner, $391,000. No. Oh no, Buckner was the highest of these at $785,000 with the Red Sox. Tony Perez topped out at $391,666 with the Red Sox.
Yep.
So how about that, Aaron? Pulling ahead.
You're heading to the 9th. Adam's got to get one here to tie it.
So let's heading straight to the 9th. We got random trivia from who knows where, and let's see what we get. Okay, here's our question. What Hall of Fame player became interim manager of the Phillies in August 2013? We have Pete Mackinnon, Ryan Sandberg, Charlie Manuel, and Steve Carlton. I'm pretty sure this is Sandberg. So I'm going to go Sandberg. Let's see. That's correct.
Yep. Oh, that was a nice little jingle we got there.
Yeah. It's a fun little sound when it goes off. It doesn't always come through on this show.
Okay. So
But
you
look at
picked
that.
that one. 15. All
Tie,
right. All
tie
right.
game.
All right.
Let's see what's next. Which pitcher was nicknamed the chairman of the board?
Okay.
Okay, we have Whitey Ford, Warren Spahn, Carl Hubble, and Steve Carlton. Oh my.
Boy.
This is a total toss-up here. Get my four-sided coin out here. I'm gonna go Spawn on this one.
Okay. All right.
No
Let's hear
idea why. We're gonna go for it. That's not correct. Did you have a guess on this one?
it. I think I maybe would have gone Hubble.
Hubble is incorrect.
Okay.
It is Whitey Ford.
Okay.
So here we are. Bottom of the 9th. Is Aaron going to walk it off, or are we going to get the coveted extra innings? Let's see. Okay. I think this one's an easy one, but
Maybe.
yeah, this one's.
Is it too
Should I
easy?
give you? I think it's too easy.
Okay, let's just move past here.
Yeah.
Don't give me too easy here on a walk off, Let's not do that.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Why did Dallas Green threaten to move the Cubs from Wrigley Field?
Dallas Green. Who is Dallas Green?
I don't know. But here we go. Here we go.
All right. All right.
It was cold, too cold for baseball. It was in a floodplain. The city wouldn't let them install lights, or it was infested with rats.
I'll go lights.
Okay. For the win.
Hmm?
Correct.
Boom. Boom.
A city ordinance prohibited the Cubs from installing lights. And let's see. Green said if there are no lights in Wrigley Field, there will be no Wrigley Field. He threatened to move the Cubs to a new stadium in Schaumburg or Arlington Heights. And then the city council and Mayor Harold Washington approved a change to the ordinance, allowing the Cubs to install lights in 1988.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's still crazy to me that it was 1988.
Before they're playing night games.
Yeah, I know. That's wild.
Bananas. But look at that, Aaron. Taking
Mm-hmm.
it home on, I think, our highest scoring match up ever.
That's probably so. I mean, that 8-8 got us rocking in the right direction, and then look at that 4 1s, just stick figure in it all the way across.
Yeah. Well, as is our tradition, you win. It's your story time. Let's hear it.
So I was just thinking about in that whole night game thing, and I feel like we may have talked about this before, but it was just reminding me of the first, I think really the first night game that I can remember ever playing in
Hmm.
was we were playing on the All-Star team, and with, we had Jason, I think Mitch was on that team. We had Jason from Roselia. We had, I think we had Josh from St. John Endicott, Sam from Tico Oakdale. Does that sound right? Is that, or am
Yeah.
I a little
Hmm.
ahead of that? Because this was like, was it elementary? Was it like,
It would
or
have
middle
been
school?
maybe,
Like middle
yeah,
school, right?
like
Middle
about
school,
sixth
sixth,
grade,
seventh grade,
maybe
maybe,
seventh
something
grade. Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So maybe that was. I know we had a couple iterations of teams that we played on. Like David was on one of those teams, and
Hmm.
we had some guys. So, but I remember, and was this the same day as or like the Jason broken arm incident? I was trying to remember.
Oh,
Um,
I don't know.
it was that team, I know,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I remember playing, and Josiah, the lefty
Hmm.
that we knew, like we didn't know him well,
Yeah.
but we knew who he was, and he was pitching, and he threw hard at that
Yeah.
age, and I just remember night game, at the play fields in Pullman, and it just looked like a BB. Like it
Yeah.
was so hard to see, and I can't remember if we ended up winning that game or not. We may have, but you know what? I think actually that might have been the first game Jason came back wearing the glove over the cast. That
Yeah.
might have been actually that particular one, but I don't remember that for sure. So, what do you remember about that game?
I remember that I got the first hit
Okay.
for our team, and it was, I mean, you're right. He was throwing so hard.
Hmm.
Um, I felt fortunate to even get a piece of it, and my hit was a little dribbler down the third baseline.
Hmm.
It was might as well have been a bunt, but it was a full swing, little tapper down the third baseline, ran it out, got the first hit. I have no clue. I have no recollection whether we won that game or not. What I remember is just our team getting pretty well dominated by Josiah, who was just throwing
Hmm.
heat the whole game. Um,
Yeah, we just
yeah.
didn't. I mean, part of that was we just didn't see that many lefties to begin with,
Hmm.
and then you got a guy who's throwing hard, so it's got some tail on it. Like it was just different. I mean, like it's weird. It's the thing that's funny to me. You're gonna little tangent here is um, like listening to Major League Baseball, um, and like listening to the deals, the deals that are made. Like, so Mariners made some signings. And they're talking about like, oh, this guy crushes lefties and whatnot, and like, and it's so funny because like we saw so few lefties, and the few that we saw were actually pretty good.
Hmm.
Kelly at Potlatch. Um, and Tico Oakdale had a guy. I can't remember who that was. That they had a guy that was just like it was filthy. I mean, you just didn't see that many lefties um, in our in our
Hmm.
league, and like I said, most of them that we saw were pretty good, and so I just didn't hit lefties that well
Yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah, well, and to your point about the night games too, we didn't play many night games either.
Hmm.
As we got into high school and played summer league, we played a few more night games, but even
Yeah,
then we mostly played day games,
yeah, yeah.
which
It's
is
true.
it's a different, like, seeing the ball and the way the game plays and the way it plays out is different in a day
Hmm.
game versus a night game.
Yep. Yep. It definitely is. Definitely is. So, well, fun times. I still remember one. Speaking, we just meander here. Story time. But I remember went to Whitefish with the posse
Hmm.
with Burdette. Shout out to Burdette. And I remember myself and Tyler Farrington. Tyler made the All Star team. for
Yeah.
that tournament. And I remember that was the game. I've told this story before, but I got hit in the head in warm-ups. And but it didn't hurt like at all. It just like glanced off, boom. Well, I was fine. And but that was a night game, and I remember my first at bat. I was the number 3 hitter, and early in the game, Burdett started as our coach against the other team. He was a starting pitcher, and then they had a guy who pitched either college or minor leagues or something like that, which is Burdett pitched in the minor leagues. And so this guy is throwing against us, and he's like probably low 90s, and we didn't see much of that. I thought, we didn't see much in the 90s. And first 2 guys starts out fastball, um, and I go up there and I'm looking fastball. He goes fastball out of the hand, and I was like, I'm gonna slaughter this pitch. And I was way out in front because he threw me a changeup. What he should have done. So I think he struck me out, but I had a really nice like we got so many compliments actually because in that game um, Tyler was actually he got on first, and then it was like just a coach who was throwing like 70 or something. He wasn't even like he was pitching, but he wasn't like 90. Um, but he threw me a pitch up and away, and I went right field, hit and run, first, third, perfectly executed. And we got a lot of comments from. We didn't place or really particularly do very well in that tournament, but we got a lot of comments about the way we hit and played and that kind of thing. So that was fun. So
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a chance to do well and advance in that tournament, but we blew a game at the end with some errors, which
Yeah, there was a game in there too. I can't remember which one and which one had the errors and stuff. But I almost hit a grand slam in that game that probably would have won it for us. But the guy caught it and so he that guy who caught it made the All-Star team. So I talked to him and I was like, "Hey, dude, you remember that catch? Yeah, if I wouldn't have caught it, it was going out."
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, yeah, it was uh, well, it was crazy. Well, there we go, folks. We're evened up again, 2-2. Um, we'll continue. We'll be rolling tomorrow. We're back at Stadium Club. We got a fun pack,
Yes.
so we got to put it together and see what we can come up with.
See you then, folks.
Later, folks.